Mansour Khalifé, you are founder and chairman at MNK Group. Thank you for joining us on BiTV.
Hello, thank you for hosting me and giving me the chance to present MNK Capital Venture.
Exactly. You mentioned it. Last week, you announced the creation of MNK Capital, a company specializing in real estate M&A. What would be the purpose and strategy of this new structure?
So first, MNK Capital is part of MNK Group, a real estate investment group operating since 2017. The purpose of this new venture is to structure syndicate investment, what we call club deal, for institutional investors, and we operate across Europe, Africa, and recently United States. Regarding the asset classes we are investing in, we remain really opportunistic, but we carry strong convictions on hospitality, healthcare, and education. Going to the strategy of MNK Capital, our first strategic conviction is that the value of the real estate is not the real estate itself, but mostly the company that is operating it. That's why we see ourselves as an M&A company equally attached to the real estate fundamentals and the operator business model. The second conviction is to accompany companies that have strong underlying real estate underlying assets in their activity. And in this regard, we want to help these companies developing their businesses in existing markets, Europe, for example, and new markets like Africa and United States. This brings me to the third conviction, going cross-border, helping French European operators to develop abroad, and reversely, accompanying American and other operators from other geography in their deployment in France and in Europe, and why not also in Africa, which is a challenging market. So what we do for operators is also true for investors. We are acting as trusted partners for them, especially when they want to go on international investment.
Okay, and you mentioned fundamentals. I wanted to ask you, what market analysis prompted you to adopt such a strategy geared towards real estate M&A? What are maybe the fundamentals that told you that was a good time for such an approach?
Look, the question is very interesting. What we see that the markets and the real estate cycles are shifting very quickly, more and more ample and shorter. And in this context, economic operators are either confronted to lots of flow coming in their market, or maybe a lack of equity coming to them. I take an example during the pandemic, hospitality sector has been heated by what happened, and investors were running out from this market. And after 2 years, they are coming back. So what's really important, we think that it makes sense to prevent operators from this equity market volatility, and as a global partner, especially when they go through down cycles, to be here. So we think that the real estate operators and also the investors are the same, because they are running from a market and are coming back very quickly. They are looking in general for tailor-made partnerships, and that can understand not only the needs they have in terms of real estate itself, but also the global strategy they are building up. And this M&A company has also the aim to be a long-run global partner. We believe that the M&A approach enables us to be global partner on the long run and cross-border actors. So finally, MNK Capital, we capitalize on the DNA of the group we established in 2017, being able to look at deals that are a bit creative, sometimes tricky, let's say sophisticated or complex for regular or mainstream investment funds. What makes us unique compared to those, more product-oriented, that we are really strategic-oriented and operator-oriented, and not just real estate-oriented. So this makes us really unique in the market, that we make us really, unique in the market, especially comparing to the other offers that mainstream investment managers can offer to operators. We had this experience. I've been talking on hospitality markets. We entered in our first negotiation in July 2020 in this market, which was really empty. Nobody wants to put €1 in hospitality in Europe during the pandemic. But we thought at this time that it's really the best moment to go and to enter it and to be a real partner for operators.
And therefore, you mentioned also Europe, Africa, even the United States. Obviously, MNK Capital will have a resolutely international approach. What is your roadmap for its development?
So the roadmap of our international development is strongly linked to real estate operators. So we are following them and their expansion and their development. I mean, we are not choosing a real estate market and advocating for it, but we are more partnering with the operators, and as they are expanding, we are expanding with them. So for instance, we're currently working with an international hotel operator in its deployment in the United States, and that's the purpose of our entry to this market. And looking forward also to intensifying discussions we already had with some European actors and American actors that want to seek to step in France, because the market needs massively numbers of room. Occupation rates are very high, and those operators are trying to understand the market and get the best opportunities. So part of the roadmap for MNK Capital, we're also nurturing links with the public authorities, because you know that all the countries and are trying to drag investors, operators, and trying to get more economic growth. So we want to favor cross-border investments, and in this respect, we're participating also last week to the Global Gateway Summit that in Paris, organized by the European Commission. So we're working very closely with French agencies and European agencies to help them finally structure investments in Europe and to drag operators, and also the same way to accompany those operators in their expansion, either in US, but also, as we're talking about Global Gateway, it's more into Africa also, which we have tackled this continent 3 years ago. So finally, we always want to be as close as possible to the markets we're looking into. This is part of the DNA of MNK Group, and we did the same with MNK Partners when we decided a few years ago to go to enter the Polish market. So the first thing that we opened an office there. So that's why this international development of MNK Capital will be growing along with our offices. We hope that after a few deals, I mean, when we'll be closing the deals that we're having in the pipe, we'll definitely open an office here and be as close as possible to the market, to the US market.
Great. We will follow closely this development. In the meantime, thank you very much, Mansour Khalifé, for taking the time to speak with us and give us a little bit more insight into this new venture. Thank you all also for being with us, and I'll see you soon on BiTV.
Thank you.